Russia, the media in this country is incompetent and worse. What really went on in Russia? Well, I am told that what we really wanted from the Russians was more access to land routes into Afghanistan so we could bring our heavy tanks and other artillery devices, and that they were largely denied. The air routes flying over Russian territory, there are other ways to get to Afghanistan. They're not that essential, frankly, I'm told, because we fly in plenty of stuff, but it is the heavy armored personnel carriers, the heavy tanks and so forth, that we're having trouble getting there, and the Russians, for the most part, nixed it. So it was a failure. And you won't hear that on any news report because the reporters today are just spoon-fed propaganda points by Obama's people, and they regurgitate them. Now, on the issue of nuclear missiles themselves, we have to turn to Gerald Warner World, who I've turned to before, a columnist for the British Telegraph. And he's a pull, no punches type of writer. He writes, the Looney Tunes president's sellout of U.S. and Western interests is proceeding at such a speed that it is difficult to keep pace. Well said for asking if Barack Obama is the most naive president in American history. The answer is undoubtedly yes, unless he has a secret agenda to cut America down to size. That's it. It was always in Russia that Obama threatened to do most damage, and as Niall Gardner has rightly pointed out, these forebodings have been fulfilled. His supposed missile deal with Putin is very satisfactory to Russian ambitions and realpolitik. The nuclear power balance as of 2007 was a Russian superiority of 2,146 land-launched nuclear warheads, to 1,600 U.S. This was counterbalanced by a U.S. superiority of 3,168 sea-launched U.S. warheads to 1,392 Russian and 1,098 air-launched U.S. warheads to 624 Russians. What should also be factored in is the leaking, deteriorating rust bucket condition of some of Russia's deterrent ordnance, although it's already decommissioned the most basket case Soviet weaponry. The bottom line, however, is that Russia is in the lead in ICBM development, not America. For America voluntarily to reduce its nuclear superiority is madness. A nuclear-free world displays total stupidity in a global situation where nuclear weaponry is proliferating, not receding. There's even a nuclear bomb in Pakistan, which is teetering on the brink of failed statehood at the hands of Islamist insurgents. Is this a time for America to disarm, to sell the store, as one trenchant right-wing commentator has already described Obama's posturing in Moscow? For Obama, success is not the delivery of watertight nuclear security for America. It is a feel-good news conference and photo op that will create huge approval ratings on liberal campuses, where the delusions of 1968 and the anti-Vietnam War movement still linger on in these isolated Jurassic Parks. It seems certain Obama will sacrifice the anti-missile shield in Europe that would have been our defense against a nuclear Iran after the Ayatollahs, with Russian help, emerge as potential vaporizing agents of the infidel. The interceptor missiles do not even carry warheads. They rely on an impact of 14,900 miles per hour to destroy any incoming missile. So Russian hysteria about this threat is synthetic. Compare this guy to Reagan. Reagan pushed this defense shield, even offered it to the Russians, remember? We have these relatively small and weak former East Bloc countries like Poland and Hungary and the Czech Republic. They want our help. And so, in trying to get them these defensive shields, the Russians are saying, no, we want to be able to threaten them with our nuclear inventory, with our nuclear weapons, and if you give them the shield, we're no threat to them anymore. Exactly. Exactly. In addition to the Iranians and the North Koreans. But our own president, our own so-called commander-in-chief, wants to cut funding for the nuclear defensive shield. Can any liberal out can any liberal out there tell me the logic behind that? Can any liberal out there tell me what the Obama doctrine is? I've brought this up repeatedly, the Obama doctrine. It's got to be more than hate America and give support to the genocidal maniacs of the world. What is the Obama doctrine? We'll be right back.
Love him or hate him or really hate him. The Great One is on the air at 877-381-3811. The hottest read of the summer.
Love, baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
Well, I wasn't going to do this yet, but this is too juicy. Alex from Tampa, the great WFLA, a lib, yes.
No, I'm not a lib. I'm not a lib. You see, you're making wrong conclusions right away.
Well, that's what my call screener said. I'll be the judge then. Go ahead.
Another mistake. Listen to me. You're lying when you are saying that those nations in Europe want those defenses because they're threatened by Russia. United States wants those defenses there, according to Bush administration and according to Obama, to protect, as they say, against Iranian missiles.
Yeah, well, I don't care what they say. It is against Iranian missiles, of course, but also against the Ruskies. Are you a Ruski?
I'm Russian and a Jew. Are you a Jew?
I said, are you a Ruski? Yes or no, sir?
Are you a Jewish?
Am I a what? Yes, I'm Jewish, and I have Russian heritage, and I hate the Russian government. I hate the Russian commies. And what are you doing in my country?
What are you
How the hell did you sneak through the border? What are you doing here, you jerk?
Just like everybody.
Answer my question. How did you get here?
Just like anybody.
Get out of here, you dummy. Let's see, where are we?